Hey, welcome back guys, this is Maverick here with another episode of KonoSuba. And so we left the last episode on a bit of a continuous arc, I guess you could say, with the Dulohan showing up yet again. I'm guessing he probably didn't get the memo that darkness has already been purified of the curse, and so he's wondering why the heck they aren't visiting him, right? Any case, I think this might be our very first serious fight, or of course we could also revert back to the ridiculousness as always here, right? But that being said, this is episode 6 now, so since this season only has 10 episodes, we are actually past the halfway point, right? It's not like typical anime which have 12. So, who knows? Maybe the story is actually going to start picking up here. Either way would be fine with me, but let's find out together. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. This is a sort of Jaws music. By the way, I only found out that Dulohan is actually a creature from Irish mythology. Wait, seriously? Oh, it was you? Oh, you have a name. Radia. Yeah, he didn't get the memo. Yeah, I feel like this night is definitely also more on the derpy side of things. As with all the characters we've seen so far. I think the only... Has there been a single character so far that wasn't kind of derpy in some way? I guess maybe Chris? But even she fell victim to Kazuma, right? A conclusion to this worthless fight. Okay. I guess what I'm asking here is there anyone that's normal within this world? Although I guess if they get themselves involved with Kazuma and company, probably not. Maybe that girl, like 2 scenes before, that one might be normal. Ooh. Just like that? Oh, no. Just the horse. Ooh, we're actually getting a battle. Alright. Explosion? Alright, what now? I mean, couldn't Aqua just turn undead all of them? Okay, I can see. This is definitely a worthless fight. and and everybody's ignoring darkness. Oh. You should probably start chanting already. Ooh. I mean, although this is although this is very pretty, I think I still prefer the one in the opening. You know, with the rings of fire and whatnot. That is really epic. Aren't just... Yeah, there we go. Is that really enough? I mean, this is your fault, Megumin. Yeah, it couldn't be that easy. Oh, it's Darkness's turn. The city's ace in the hole? That guy from last episode? Woo. Whoosha. Oh, all dead. Oh, that was relatively PG. Yeah, it's that guy. Damn. Even though she can't actually. What? Ah, come on, Kazuma. At least she's doing something. Ooh. And verbal abuse as well. What would that do? Oh. Really? He can steal that? Really? He's gonna steal something from darkness, huh? Where's Aqua? Probably his head, right? Wait, he's weak to water? Literally one of the most novice skills? Her name is literally Aqua, you would think? Yeah. sacred create water? Okay, the naming sense of this anime is definitely... This is really something. She's gonna have to pay for the damages, isn't she? Woo. Steal his head. Yeah, steal his head. Ah, okay, he figured it out. Good job, man. Ooh. What just happened there? Damn. She looked really cool there. Ooh. And he's literally completely gone? Really? Weren't there two more? Oh well. I bet it's gonna end up that they're okay, right? Oh, literally resurrection? Holy shit. I wonder if they get anything for these emergency quests. Really? Okay. Are they being sent on like a special quest or something? Is this the bill? Yeah, saw that coming a mile high. How much is it? 300 million? Even more? So they're actually literally in debt now? Alright. Most things went pretty much as expected, I'd say. But yeah, see you guys after this. Alrighty, so that was episode 6, and I guess the answer to my question at the beginning of the episode is a little bit of both. So we got a little bit of a serious fight, but by and large it was being packaged around a farce here, right? And I do think the title of this episode suits it very, very well. Can we end this worthless fight already, right? Because I don't think anybody came out of it, really looking on the good side here, coming out in a better light, I mean. Although I guess there is maybe one exception to this, and that is Aqua. So let's talk about her first, right? So, I mean, obviously she was the cause of the biggest, the biggest, how can I call it, the biggest oopsie of this episode, destroying the city walls and all that. But I really gotta say she impressed me, and I definitely wasn't expecting her to be so useful. Considering, you know, all the abuse that she's taken and not really being able to stand up for herself and whatnot, and considering that she's been wasting her points on learning party trick and all that, I really wasn't thinking that she actually had any abilities beyond the very basic art priest type of, I guess, healing and then dispelling what's it called again? Dispelling curses and whatnot. But hey, she's got resurrection, she's got turn undead, and she can even use other magic as well, right? Summon water, or create water as they are called here. So yeah, she definitely impressed me a lot more than I thought she was capable of. Not to mention it wasn't a case where she failed her magic or anything, or aimed her magic incorrectly. Sure, you could argue that she was the cause for flooding the city walls and whatnot, but at the same time, I would also give a counterpoint and say, who could have thought that her magic abilities had so much power behind them, right? That's number one. And number two, if they didn't really do something at that point in time, the Dillahan literally could have killed them all, right? So I kind of feel like that was a necessary cost. And I don't know, I actually think it's kind of unfair. I know it's a gag and all that, but I think it's kind of unfair to actually pinpoint the wall destruction and ask them to pay for it when you can literally consider it as a casualty of war, right? Considering, you know, it is one of the leaders of the Devil King literally fighting here at a beginner city, right? The fact that they were able to repel him and actually kill him at the same time, it should be compensation enough, I feel. Or at least let the two cancel out, right? I mean, but I get it. It's for the story, right? Just the ridiculousness of the situation. But yeah, anyways, Aqua definitely impressed me a lot here. As for Darkness, I mean, we already knew her sort of tanking abilities and whatnot. I guess one thing that you could say is, you know, pervert or not, she definitely still has her pride and conviction as a knight, paladin / crusader, whatever you want to call it, and that is nice. Knowing a little bit about her you know, her true ideals and whatnot. Although it's kind of being overshadowed by immediately jumping into another joke right after she states her convictions and whatnot. So you really couldn't get the. I felt so, how should I say it, so conflicted watching this. You know, on one point you want to say, oh yeah, this is epic, she's giving an epic speech, this is her her showing her faith and whatnot, but then literally the next one she's like joking about, or to her it's not joking, right? But of course she's going on about being a masochist again, so you're like, whatever. Megumin, I would honestly say the one person who was responsible for all this is actually Megumin, right? I mean, she did her job, she used explosion magic and yada yada yada, but the entire thing came about because she was still practicing her explosion magic on the castle, right? Like, people are giving crap for Aqua being dumb, but how dumb could Megumin be here, right? I mean, I mean, sure, you could say that Aqua is also a co-perpetrator of this, right? But she was definitely convinced by Megumin. So, you know what? For this episode and the events that transpired, I will put the full blame on Megumin instead. So, sorry, Megumin supporters, but there's no talking her out of this one this time. And then, of course, we got Kazuma as well, using his ingenuity and whatnot. Not really much else to say there. I guess it was also kind of obvious that the weak point was the head and all that. I thought he was actually going to do something more creative with the head, honestly. I thought he was literally going to, I don't know, like stick his hand in there and mess him around or whatnot. So they just played soccer in the end, which was okay, I guess. But I was actually expecting something even more creative, torturing solutions by Kazuma. Kind of let me down there, I gotta say. But yeah, I mean, at the very end, he still made a lot of progress. He was the one who identified the weakness of the Dullahan. And, you would kind of think that maybe this was more widespread news or knowledge, in a sense. I guess they are in the beginning village after all, so whatever. But yeah, I guess the entire thing about the wall and all that is just setting them up so that they can, they are basically in debt, and then now they have to work their ass off and accept harder quests to pay back the debts, right? At least that's how I feel like the story is trying to push them along. Because, I already said before, Kazuma is definitely not a very motivated person. He needs some kind of excuse, some kind of, how can I say it? Some goal some objective to move towards to. If you give him something vague like defeat the Devil King so that he can go back, he's not actually going to do it. So I feel like this is actually good for the progress of the story with them being in debt. And not to mention, even though they are in debt, one thing I also like, I talked a little about this in the last episode as well, which is I kind of like the idea that the good guys are actually getting respected and getting their just dues for what they did, right? There's a lot of times in these kinds of anime or light novels and stuff where the true hero of the situation of a particular event or incident is being overshadowed by some other, like in this case, I literally thought it was going to be a case where the other isekai, I already forgot his name already. What's his name again? The other dude, right? The dude with the dude with the sword and whatnot. I thought he was actually going to show up at the very end, and then everybody was going to believe that he was actually one who killed the Dullahan and take all the credit and whatnot. Whereas Kazuma and his friends would be kind of shunned as, not really knowing what they're doing and all that. But it's not a case of that, and they are actually, even though in debt, at least also bearing the titles of Dullahan Slayers, so people will respect them more for it, right? At the very least, the people in the city will understand that they are a force to be reckoned with. I kind of like that idea. And so, yeah, I just like the way that the story is progressing in this way, and for them actually getting their respect, as much as we can give them anyways, right? So, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. Like I said, in the next one, I'm expecting that they are going to continue to go on questing in order to pay back their debts, right? 40 million debt, that's definitely a lot. They're probably going to have to take some drastic measures to alleviate the situation. But in any case, that has been episode 6 of KonoSuba. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys next week as well. Bye-bye.